Right, unsurprisingly, VAR loomed large at the weekend. It was always going to, but I don't think any of us expected the reaction that we had. So it's almost a case of how do you assess the assessment of VAR at the weekend and if like, just the sheer volume that it brought up?
Well, we have the theory. So if we talk about the offside, we talk about the Raheem Sterling goal and the offside law, which, in terms of it being factual, you're either offside or you're not. We needed something to happen on the pitch that kind of brought this to a head. Just how fine is the line that they draw? How close can they get to saying you're offside or you're not? Are we talking about a millimetre here? We're trying to say, because this is ultimately what it's all about. If they're saying yes, it is offside, they've got to be able to say what is the margin and how fine is that margin. I'm not sure whether anyone's actually said how fine this margin is that they can measure to.
OK, well, IFAB, the International Football Authorities Board, say that they constantly review things. They are going to look at VAR, how it's used, and potentially the offside rule, because the offside rule is very different if you don't have VAR, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a very, very different rule. So you can understand quite rightly, because I think with you mentioned earlier on, was it Benfica?
Yes.
With regard to the new goal kick.
Yeah, because obviously you can keep the ball, the defenders can stay aside the penalty area and the keeper can roll it out to them, but they were actually rolling the ball to, say, a centre-half who was chipping the ball up to the goalkeeper, catching it and playing it long. So I think IFAB said, well, within the laws of the game, that's fine, but the spirit of it isn't right, so we're going to change that. Literally within 24 hours, they changed the law. So maybe with what's happening on the pitch, there is a grey area there. They're not... Is it as close in terms of millimetres? Are they absolutely sure they're getting it right? And if they're not, then they maybe have... That's the whole point. Things need to happen on the pitch for decisions to be made away from it. It was always going to be the case.
The argument is, particularly the Raheem Sterling one, is it really the spirit of the game? And is there an argument that it is the spirit of the game?
Was he offside?
The person who looked at these pictures decided that he was offside.
So he's offside. So to me, it isn't about the spirit of the game and saying, well, maybe we should let it go. VAR has been brought in to actually categorically say it is or it isn't. So what I'm saying is, if you're saying it is or it isn't, to what degree are you measuring it? Because that's what it's all about, ultimately.
If he sees that as a quarter of an inch or a millimetre, whoever's decided on that, if it's offside, it's offside.
Exactly. Yeah.
To me, you know, you have to trust the fact that the person who's organising it upstairs, the VAR, making the decisions. And I think it's been a good thing, Jeff. I really do. I quite like it. I know it slows the game down a little bit, but VAR was brought in to help referees. I think it's done that. And I think generally 99.9% of the time with that VAR, if that's offside, even if it's by a quarter of an inch, it's offside.
That's the whole point. Because the on-field official will be guessing, because you cannot see that with the human eye. It's impossible.
Absolutely.
So the official they need VAR to say, right, you tell us now. So again, it's about the measurement.
I think we're being pedantic, because if the official decides, having looked at those pictures and with the technology available, it's offside, that is going to be probably 100 times more accurate than without VAR, where it's pure, not guesswork, but it's speed of eye, normal time, no chance. You've got
exactly. That's the whole point it was brought in, to kind of clear up these issues.
Why, because it's so tight, the decision, is there this argument, well, you know, it's not in the spirit of the game.
Who's saying this, though?
Well,
where's it coming from?
There's been a number, as you know, we all work in the game. Football is about opinions as well. A number of people talk about it not being the spirit of the game, although it was never within the laws of the game, the attack having the advantage, which you would like and you wouldn't.
Yeah.
You can't get it to you can't have it laser position, the actual millimetre.
Well, maybe in time you possibly can, but at the moment they can categorically say, with the measurements that they have, he was offside.
And they're trying. I think they're trying
their
improve. Utmost to get it spot on. This one, I'm not too sure whether we get another one as close as this all season,
but it's good that we've had this, because this is starting this debate about how close can you measure this to.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. Well, that's what I'm saying. On the field, it's started to maybe, it doesn't sound like it, but it might start to clear up what VAR need to do to really get this as close as they possibly can.
I mean, based on that, you're going to shave your armpits, aren't you?
Yeah. Yes. You're going to try and lose some weight off your armpits as well. You'll be playing everybody on side. It's a nightmare.
But also, as well, the other question as well is about the delay. About the delay, the decision, and whether or not it would take out the spontaneity of a celebration and the joy.
I think it does. I think that's the one thing that I think could possibly spoil that initial buzz, that an initial elation where we saw last season Man City, Spurs, Pep Guardiola run down the touchline 50 yards when it was called back for the Llorente handball, which was given, and then when Aguero, when it hits Aguero, come back from an offside position. And I just think all of a sudden, when it happens, when you get that last-minute goal now, fans are going to go, oh, do I celebrate? Hold on a minute, it's got to be brought back.
Hang on. You know yourself. If you scored an iffy one where you might have been offside, before you wheeled away...
You never scored a goal like that, Jeff.
Never. You had a little look across...
They used to call me Orange John, you know that, don't you?
Or, say you'd climbed on the back of a defender, far post.
Never.
You'd have a little look, a little sneaky look. Other goals, though, we all know there's a goal, there's no question at all. So I think it's wrong to start labelling VAR that we've got to wait for every single goal. The majority of goals, we know our goals.
And how far do you go back? How far do you go back?
Phase of play. That's a whole different kettle of fish.
Phase of play is and handball. They're, to me, bigger issues than actually the offside thing. I really do. I think that is a real minefield. That is really, really tricky. But they will get there. We've both been along and seen how this is run.
I think it
is
certainly helps the
incredible.
game, Andy. It certainly helped the game.
We're getting a
for
fairer reflection of the 90 minutes. And I think, of course, if it's your team that get denied a goal, you're going to be unhappy. But by the laws, if it's in reverse, do you want the opposition to score when it shouldn't be allowed because the guy's offside? Clearly not. Doesn't matter how long it takes, that goal shouldn't stand. So you can't have it both ways. It's trying to be a fair reflection of 90 minutes. And that's
I'll
why
go back to what you said as well, Jeff, in terms of the time. Then if we get the correct decision, take as long as you want.
But fans will get... It's like when we changed the back pass law. Everyone, we can't do this, it's terrible for the game. People got used to it. It's just
one weekend so far.
That's what I'm saying. And I think there's been a lot flagged up positively. And then the Raheem Sterling one opened up this debate, which I think is absolutely crucial that we get right.
Plus the Wolves one.
Plus the Wolves one as well. But again, I do think it's really healthy. And it is, as I say, trying to get a fair reflection of the game. So the players come off the pitch thinking what's happened is as close to what should have happened. And then the fans hopefully will buy into that as well.